Hello friends, and welcome to the Hanged Man in the Moon. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you're probably a little confused by the sound and what's going on. Well, this is my series in which I'm doing a dive into a very special deck by Christine Payne-Towler, a wonderful deck called the Tarot of the Holy Light. And every day I draw one card and I sit with that card for a while. But this system is different from a more commonly used Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So I pull 3 cards from my trusted RWS deck to help me unpack a little bit the card for the day. So I pull a significance card, the card that gives me the significance of the card I pulled from the Tarot of the Holy Light. Then I pull a card for the opposition to that, and then an advice card, a 3-card spread. And then I sit with that for the day. And then at the end of the day, I look at the guidebook for the Tarot of the Holy Light, which I had not looked at yet. And then I reflect on that meaning. I compare it to the meaning that I think of when I usually see this card in a RWS deck. And I reflect on how that all reflected on the day. Now, the reason why I'm speaking very, very quietly is because I now have a roommate. In quarantine, I have a quarantine mate. And I'm doing this late at night. And, well, this is the best that I'm going to do. Hopefully I can do this. Hopefully this is going to work. So, friends, what was the card for today? The card for today was the 8 of Wands reversed. 8 of Wands reversed. So what do we see in this deck? We see the sun in this card. We see the sun blasting fire onto dry earth. We have got the 8 wands on the side. Let me show you this upright. Yeah. We've got the 8 wands on the side. We've got a caduceus. We've got double crowns. So in the upright position, there's potential for victory. There's potential for possibility, but things could get out of control, right? There's a little bit too much fire here, but it's not, there's still some control here. In reverse, what do we see? The fire dominates, right? So when I usually think of the 8 of Wands in reversed in a Coleman Smith deck, in a Smith-Waite deck, I usually think the upright, fire, passion, energy being put to use, direction, movement, quick movement. And then when I think of it in reverse, I think of blockages of energy, blockages of moving forward. And seeing as how here I am in quarantine, I thought that makes sense, right? My movement forward is being blocked by conditions. And so I pulled 3 cards from my Rider-Waite-Smith deck to help me unpack what the card was really trying to tell me. And let me show you those cards right now. So you saw those 3 cards were the 9 of Wands, made absolute sense to me, the 6 of Swords in opposition, and then the advice card was the Hierophant. Made perfect sense to me. Yeah, Knight of Wands. To me, this card sometimes can be having your defenses all lined up, sure. But I usually see somebody who's been beaten up but is still standing. Yeah, they've taken the blows, they've been through some stuff, and they're still standing. This, I don't see as much blows having been taken here, but we do definitely see a figure who is perhaps tired but still standing. They've not a lot of fire here, but their wand is still glowing, right? And they've got some protection. Okay, so for me, the significance of this, what I was thinking of was, yeah, there might be some blockage, but you're still standing, you've still got the flame, it's okay. You've taken some blows, but you're still standing. I thought, yeah, that makes perfect sense for where I am right now. Obstacle, 6 of Swords, yeah, moving on. In reverse, perhaps trying too hard to move on, perhaps resisting moving on, but trying too hard to move on. And in my condition, that would make sense too. Yeah. If I try to move hard, if I try to struggle with the situation, with being where I am now, I'll make more problems for myself. So the response, the advice is the Hierophant. Learn, open to the divine, open to the divine presence, open to learning from the moment. And you see, this Hierophant is a joyful meditator, yeah? Laughing there in the solitude, the light shining down from the ladder to heaven, yeah? Reveling in the divine, breaking through into the present moment. So that's great advice for anyone, anytime, but particularly here in quarantine, right? So then I went through the day, and then things started happening. I thought, I better check the book. I checked the book, and the book didn't make me happy at all. So let me read you a little bit of what the book says about this card. Yeah? So what do we have? A simple formula to remember for this card is that when the Eight of Wands appears upright, the seeker is closing in on a goal that is soon to be achieved. Cool. But when the card appears reversed, the forces of chaos and unpredictable results might just rise up and begin closing in on the seeker. Reversed meanings take their color from the more stressful aspects of the above observations. Initial stages of the project might not have been handled with proper attention to detail, making it very difficult to achieve or maintain order now. In the current situation, excess growth, weeds, and buildup of dead matter are marring the garden and putting the harvest at risk. So, things might be moving into chaos. Beginning preparations might not have been settled very well, might not have been managed very well. Jupiter now has to accept intervention from Capricorn's more melancholic temperament, which has the power to freeze things in place for a little while. Quarantine. An inclement period might seem endless while we long for a break in the clouds, but until this setback is taken advantage of to put order back to the verging chaos of overgrowth, Jupiter's fond fantasy of abundance and security will remain a far-off daydream. So, like I said, the day started off okay. It started off as I was imagining the Eight of Wands of just being in quarantine and keeping myself open. I studied, I kept myself open to the divine, to divine inspiration, to wisdom, and all that wonderful stuff. And then suddenly some things started happening. One of one of the people who I'm traveling with started having sniffles, started coughing, called for the test, and that person now has COVID, or tested positive for COVID, and is now living with me in my room, meaning that I have very limited space. And so, welcome to chaos. Welcome to chaos at the end of the day. I'm not begrudging this. I wouldn't want to kick this person out. I'm not saying that at all. But from a very, very tranquil, peaceful time of reflection, study by myself, and then suddenly towards the end of the day, all of that started to crackle apart. Yeah, the chaos started to intervene, and it was absolute chaos for a while. Yeah, so getting the room set up for an extra person required me going out onto the balcony and watching as people in masks and all that come in and take the bed apart and do this and that, do the other thing, and try to put things back together and all of that. That Eight of Wands, the chaos, started breaking into my life. And I'm still standing. I figured out a way to do this. I hope this will work. I hope the sound is high enough for you to hear. And perhaps the videos will necessarily be shorter. I'm not going to allow myself to try to push through this. I'm going to live through this as best I can. And hopefully I'll be able to continue doing daily videos. We'll see. I'll try. If for some reason you don't see a video daily, on a daily basis, just know that I'm okay. It's just the circumstances for recording have changed. So what I'm going to do the rest of the night is seek guidance. I think that's the best I can do now, and the best that we can all do at any time. So friends, I'd love to know what you think. This is going to be a short one. Let me know in the comments below. How would you read those 3 cards in sequence? Does it make sense how this is actually very well predicted the rest of the day for me? Let me know in the comments below. And hit the like button if you're still here, so that YouTube knows that even at this quiet tone, this is still a video that people might be interested in seeing. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and hit the alarm bell so that you get notifications of when I upload videos. I'm going to try and do them daily, and really I would love to hear from you. And if you want a private reading, I could probably still do it during the day. So I've got my Instagram linked below. Hop over there, send me a direct message at Instagram, that is possible, and we can work out a reading for you. And friends, now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.